I can almost guarantee you that I can double your money this year, but in order to do so, you need to be able to follow one principle. And to better understand that principle, you need to know the difference between the wealthy man mindset and the poverty mindset. What's good, everybody? My name is Hafiz. I'm one of the co-founders of The Standard. In The Standard, we optimize the lives of six-figure earners for holistic excellence, physically, emotionally, spiritually, socially, and financially. So in order to explain to you guys the difference between the wealthy and poverty mindsets, let me share with you guys a story. There was two different farmers living in town, and both of them were so obsessed with having the best harvest this upcoming season. So Farmer A took every last one of his seeds and he planted them all around his plot of land. And then Farmer B was afraid because he was like, man, I don't want to lose any of these seeds. These seeds are so valuable. I need them to be successful. So instead of planting all of his seeds, he went ahead and took those seeds and hid them in his closet. Come harvest season, Farmer A looked out into this field and he had an abundance of crops to be able to use to sell, to take care of his family. And then Farmer B, come harvest season, had absolutely nothing to show for it, but he was able to keep his few seeds safe and not have any risk. You see, so many of us are Farmer B, and Farmer B has what I call the poverty mentality. And guys, I know this because I also had the poverty mindset. And I can explain to you guys the poverty mindset in one word: hoarding. Guys who have the poverty mindset love to hoard. And I'll confess with my story. Even though we've been making six figures for quite a while, I realized that I always love to save my money. Initially, it was a great thing, right? You want to save your money, save for a rainy day. That's very wise. But what I realized was I was afraid of investing my money because I didn't want to lose it. I was like, I was struggling so hard to be able to make this much money, have this much money in my bank. I don't want to lose it. I'm afraid. And that is the sign of the poverty mentality. You are so consumed by fear that you're not willing to take risks because your thing is that, man, I was struggling before. I never want to go back there. So you end up having paralysis, and you're literally like the guy in the parable of the talents who hides his talents, or you're the farmer who literally puts his seeds inside of a closet. But instead, you want to have the wealthy mentality by being a guy who does one thing, and that is invest. Guys, there is no wealth creation made in this world without having to invest in yourself. The reason why entrepreneurs make so much money is that they take risk. And how do they take risk? They invest their time, they invest their money, they invest their resources into starting a business. And that's why entrepreneurs have crazy returns, right? So if I was to go ahead and survey some of the top entrepreneurs, almost all of them have billions of dollars in net worth, versus some of the top entrepreneurs who may have just worked in a company and are not necessarily leading a company. They may be in the seven figures at best. So if you want to make more money this year, you have to invest in yourself. And there's multiple different ways of investing. There's communities, there's coaches, there's conferences, there's investing in skills, but you have to be willing to spend money. But here's the deal. Because I wanted to create this chart to be able to call some of you guys out. Because a lot of you guys are like, okay, yeah, I kind of get it. I know I need to invest, but you don't invest a lot of money. And let me tell you what I've seen. If you are a guy who's only investing $100 a year, the most I've seen guys who do that is they earn four figures. If you're a guy who's willing to invest about $1,000 a year, the most I've seen is five-figure returns. So I'll give you an example using these two things. So let me give you real world examples. There was this guy I knew who invested in a decent photography course. He invested in this course. He got himself a camera from Craigslist, spent about $100, maybe $150. And as a result, he was able to start taking pictures. Eventually, by the end of the year, he was able to charge his pictures, and he made probably about $1,000 to $2,000 with his $100 investment. So he went ahead and invested in a skill. Then the other guy, he invested $1,000 and he was able to make about 5 figures. So he invested in a very good course that taught ads, because in today's world, all of these internet marketer types need an ad person, ad people driving crazy, no sort of the day. So he invested in his own personal development. He was able to learn and grow in that space. And now I think he was able to generate about $15,000 to $20,000 the first year in his business. So if you are willing to invest money, you're going to see returns. But here's where most people stop. $1,000 max. Like, yo, Hafeez, I cannot spend any more than that. And guess what? If you're telling me you can't spend more than that, then you're capped here. But for the select few people who want to invest about 10,000 is 6-figure returns. And usually that comes through private membership communities. So there's private membership communities. Obviously, we have one called the Standard, and there's organizations like YPO and dishes that are very similar. Here's what happens. Usually guys who are willing to invest 10,000 are 6-figure earners, hopefully like you guys who are watching this video. And what ends up happening is that what you need is not gonna be more information. What you need is one conversation, because what happens is that one conversation is able to give you a new insight, new wisdom, a new mindset to be able to change what you think. You see, so many guys don't realize how important newer information is. And let me be honest with you guys. YouTube is cool. Podcasts are great. But when you meet people in person, when you connect with people in the real world, that's where you're going to get some of the best personalized information. So quick example. On the internet, it is great for giving general advice. So if you are a general guy with general problems, the internet is amazing for you. Tons of videos about it. But if you are a 6-figure earner trying to grow and scale, you're no longer a general guy. You're more than likely a unique individual. And a unique individual has unique problems. And guess what? Those problems can't be solved in a YouTube video. What you need is to be able to sit down next to a person who's an expert or someone who's been through what you went through and be able to get firsthand information about how to solve that problem. And that's the best part about these private membership communities, that you get high-level information that can be able to help you grow and scale your life, and the results are guaranteed. And so the next step for guys who are really trying to grow is that you have to be able to invest over $100,000 in order to make 7 figures. So now check this out. Guys with the poverty mentality right now are going crazy. Like, oh my gosh, invest $100,000. What in the world am I spending $100,000 on? Guys, you spend $100,000 on masterminds as well as elite coaching. And so many men who have the poverty mindset, know what they'll say at this point? Why in the world should I have to pay $100,000 for a piece of information or to learn something? That information should be free. Let me tell you the problem with this idea. So you want a successful man earning anywhere between 8 to 9 figures to go ahead and stop what he's doing, stop his busy schedule that he's usually working anywhere between 15 to 20 hours a day. You want him to stop, spend time with you, listen to your problems, learn about your business, problem solve with your business, and give your business practical, tangible things to do to grow and scale. And you want him to do all that for free? You see, people with the poverty mentality don't understand that, yo, if you want someone to give you their valuable time, you're gonna have to pay them for their time. And one of the biggest things that I did this year was I made a commitment to invest $100,000 into my own personal growth and development. So I'm not just telling you this as some theorist writing ideas on a whiteboard. I'm letting you know what I'm doing in my life. And guys, it's a game changer. The information that you get from these high-level men and these high-level rooms are worth every penny. So if you are a man who's like, yo, I've been at 6 figures, and I've been struggling and I really want to break my business through. Yo, you're going to have to make that commitment and you're going to have to invest. So what I want for every last one of you guys to do who's watching this video is please abandon the poverty mentality. If you really want to be a man who leaves a legacy, who leaves your children with generational wealth, you got to make it a commitment to investing in this year. And I guarantee you, if you invest $10,000 this year, you're going to see results like never before. And you're going to be so glad that you've invested. I hope you guys have a great day. And until next time.